Right guys, today we're at the Highland Calisthenics Games and we're going to go around the athletes and ask them about any beginner's advice that they can offer us when beginning calisthenics. Also, we're going to ask them how they overcome any hurdles.
So, James, I've seen you performing in the competitions there and you did quite well, of course, and the family support is something great that we've seen. So, if you could just give us some beginner tips that could help other beginners that are getting into calisthenics, what tips could you give them?
Yeah, the tips are to give for beginners. You know, it's easy in your house. You start with the push-ups. There's different types of push-ups by varying your hands inwards, outwards, wider grip, incline grip. So even in your house, just starting with push-ups, sit-ups, just general stuff in the house, and then bring it down to these here pull-up bars. Start with 1, 2, and then work from there. You know, I'm lucky. Try and get to a muscle up would be my ideal bit to get to after seeing all these down here, but yeah, it's the family that in this calisthenic group here is good, and for the first person being down here, I've been welcomed like a regular guy, so it's been much appreciated for everyone that's organised this. It's been good.
Right, so Jamie, tell us what beginner tips could you give to other beginners, you know, that have tried to get into calisthenics but it's not went so successfully for themselves. Of course, you've been in the game for quite a while now and quite versed. You've got through to the pro rounds, so tell us, what beginner tips have you got? Of course.
I think the thing that I've really enjoyed is finding a particular move that you're wanting to try to get. One of the slightly easier ones, like a back lever, which actually is easier than the front lever. I didn't think that the first time I saw it done, but actually a back lever is easier to do. And as you work your way towards that, using bands especially, you'll find that you're building up a lot of the strength, the core strength, that then means when you're trying to go into something even harder, you've already done quite a lot of the work towards that. So you might think I'm doing nothing towards like a human flag, but actually by building up a lot of that core strength, you are building up a lot of the strength that you need for the way harder moves like the human flag.
Yeah, I didn't prepare too much, maybe like just over a week of preparation, just doing exactly what the requirements were, maybe slightly a bit of the pro stuff. I didn't reps, extra weight, just doing more or less what we did today, just on the last week or so.
Just lots of pre-workout, like 2 coffees, 2 shots of vodka because I'm from Poland, 2 shots, and motivation, David Goggins, 5 minutes, but you know, like who's gonna carry the boat?
Yeah, that's it.
You don't know, I might compete for the next one.
Brilliant. How do you guys feel about competing against each other now?
That'll be good. I reckon we'll push each other.
Very competitive.
Yeah. So hopefully that pushes me more. I like that.
Oh, perfect. So we'll be expecting a nice friendly competition from both parties then.
Friendly, and friendly as well. Yeah. I used to see.
Yeah, definitely.
First of all, we recommend them to choose their specific area, like static, dynamic. They want to maybe compete in strength and endurance or even in street lifting. So first of all, choose your area. Then start training on it, obviously. Watch some YouTube channels which you like, give a credit to guys who know what they're doing, and keep training, guys.
And keep training. Consistency.
And also compete. This is really good experience. It will help you to see different people, different rules. So yeah,
Beautiful.
Carry on.
And in the competition, you know, was there any specific exercises or any hurdles that you faced, things that you never thought you would have came across?
Sorry. As for me, the hardest one is I have a weak grip on the bar. So after some exercises, I can't do pull-ups because I'm guys out. So this was my weak side of me.
And did you find any way to maybe get around that, or do you think you were maybe just kind of dealing with it? What ways did you kind of try and push through it in the competition, do you think?
Maybe I was a bit light on myself.
Just take your time, you think?
Yeah, it took too much time. I thought I'll be easily going to the final.
My basic tip is just come to a class, take it easy to start with. First of all, everybody's at different levels.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking to see how good you are, how bad you are, what your form is. Everybody's at different levels, different strengths, and everybody's so kind and so helpful through the community. And they'll help you no matter if you're at level 1, level 2. I did a wee bit in the gym. I was never like lifting weights. I like bodyweight stuff, and I've improved the team within the last year maybe tenfold. So there's a lot of people in my gym, they can lift weights, they can do exercise. I do a lot of circuits in the gym and I smash them out the park, and these guys are 20, 30 years younger. You know, the Cali Squad here are a lot stronger because they do Cali work, but I'm a lot stronger because I do Cali work and I do a bit of sort of general gym work as well.
Brilliant. And your opponent that you were up against in the competition, Jan, he said that you proved it to be quite formidable. He didn't expect you to be, it's quite hard to fight against. Did you face any hurdles in your competition, would you say, and how did you try and kind of push through them to kind of get you to the end there?
The hurdles was just still trained enough for endurance, but I feel that I'm strong enough, and it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 20, whether you're... I was 58 yesterday. I probably went off a bit too fast, to be honest, but that's a learning curve that everybody will learn through the next stages, just at my next competition, which I can't wait to compete in, hopefully, and get a wee bit further.
Do you think in your toolbox you were also using what Jan was using, mind over matter?
You obviously need to be a wee bit strong and strict, but it's in your mind. You've got the mentality. Once you get the mentality, you're halfway there.
Brilliant.
Because I loved it first day I started with Paddy, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Thank you so much, and well done.
And did you mention it was your birthday as well yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
Happy 58.
Happy 58.
I think.
And you spent it well yesterday, and now you're here participating in the competition.
This is for two and a half days, and then this is me.
Brilliant. That's wonderful to hear.
I'm up in Ben tomorrow. I'm doing a wee planche exercise, a couple of hours. At Queen's Park in Glasgow, so hopefully a bit. Right.
I feel like the main thing you got to do when you want to start calisthenics is foundation. You want to lay the really solid foundation. It's like the rep and set you just see right now. Dips, pull up, muscle up, they are all have to be really done solidly. And then if you want to get into freestyle calisthenics, look up a lot of. Actually, when I want to learn skills every time, I screen recall the skill that I want to learn, and frame by frame watch it, repeat like every time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just forget about the fear. Just go for it. Like you got a high bar, low bar. You just have to do it everywhere and forget about the fear. Because once the fear kicks in, and you start thinking about it, and it's gonna be a fail. But if you never think about the fear, you just imagine yourself, like you visualize how you're going to drop the bar every time, then you're going to drop it. It's really easy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't overcomplicate things. Just a 360, just a spin.
Do you know how you came over those hurdles, things that you might have done to kind of just push through and get that edge above your opponents?
How you imagine yourself going to be progressing. Are you going to stay here forever, or are you going to make progress? If you want to make progress, then you have to do something. Like you have to learn skills once you never settle. You know?
And just curiosity, when did you start your calisthenics journey, Jimmy?
I think it's summer 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like obstacle, ups and downs in my journey, and for the first 2 years I've been staying in my comfort zone. I've been sticking a bit, just only training at the gym. But once I put myself out at the park, that's when I start making progress.
So the basic tips I would give is for beginners to try and get into a routine and try to do the basics all the time. So like the dips, push-ups, pull-ups, and try to get stronger in those. And then once you master those, then you can move on to a bit more advanced stuff like the muscle-ups and the skills, the front lever, the back lever. And also to progress in those movements, you need a lot of volume. So, for example, because I train mostly endurance, you just need to increase the reps, increase time under tension, maybe add weight if you want to increase the strength. But if you want to increase the endurance, it's all about volume. And the main thing is mind over matter. So when you think you're tired, just keep pushing on.
Brilliant.
And that's pretty much it.
Is there any issues specifically you think that were quite tough in this specific tournament that you think that you kind of persevered over? What kind of gave you the biggest hurdles?
Yeah, well, for me, the main thing is the weighted stuff. That is hard because I don't really train the weighted stuff. I really do all body weight, so that's the hardest part for me. So to overcome that, I'll definitely start training weighted. But that's it.
When I began my training was in the army. We're in places where, Iraq, Afghanistan, where there are no gyms available. So we do very much rely on using your body weight, push-ups, pull-ups, squats. So that really is my bread and butter. So I really should be good at that.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't do as well towards the end with the muscle-ups and stuff, but that, when you're up against combo like Eric, they're just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The big exercise that I do, my favourite is the Murph. So that is the 1 mile wearing 10 kilo. You do 100 pull-ups, 200 press-ups and 300 squats, followed by a mile run, which should be done in an hour. My best effort is about 45 minutes. So that is that's
fair enough.
Probably where I get my explosiveness from.
Fair enough, so that's good for explosive power, definitely. And have you came across anything that you thought was quite tough in the competition? Any hurdles that you weren't expecting, or maybe that you were expecting? In what ways did you kind of overcome those hurdles?
The swing back muscle ups were particularly difficult. By the time you get to that, because you've done the weighted dips and the weighted pull-ups, your muscles are full of lactic acid, and that is where you really
tendinitis is starting to kick in.
Yeah, so from the muscle up perspective, I'd advise like any beginner to use bands as much as you can, and use progression as well. Like don't be. There seems to be a culture where people don't want to use bands. It's like embarrassing to use a band. It's absolutely not embarrassing to use bands. Use bands, build up the muscle, build the smaller muscles, and progress thereafter.
Right, Oscar, brilliant. You were a judge today, and you did phenomenal. Okay, everybody that was being judged by yourself, they have a great time. You're giving everyone lots of energy.
I appreciate it.
Now, just going to ask yourself to give us one last thing. We're just going to need some tips for beginners that are wanting to get into calisthenics. What tips do you have for them to make it easier to kind of get involved and just blend in?
Right, okay. First thing I would say is find yourself a part that you can try different things on. I started off at a kids park with monkey bars, just literally practicing holding the monkey bars in different holds and then progress from that. Don't be afraid to try any new things. Look out for any videos out on the internet. I mean, I started watching people like Hannibal for King. I started watching the bartenders and people like that. And you pick up all these little tricks off them. And then you just go and apply those to what you want to learn. Some people want to learn freestyle, some people want to learn static, some people want to hybrid everything. You've got to find out exactly what it is you want to do and then build on that. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I always hear people going, yeah, but what if I ask a stupid question? No such thing as a stupid question. Because it's informing yourself, it's learning, and it's also putting light on something that maybe somebody else didn't have the cojones to ask. You see? So you're giving somebody your perspective based off of just asking a question. Last but not least, I would probably say try and find a community. I mean, we've had a great meet today. The Scottish Cali Squad made this possible. They've connected the dots for a lot of people. And I appreciate them because I got to meet up with them 3 years ago. I first met them 3 years ago, and they showed me so much love when I built my mobile fitness unit. They tried it out and they tested it, and they made sure that they could give me all the feedback I needed. So don't be afraid to reach out to like-minded people out there. The only way you find out is by asking. Live and learn, and then pay it forward.
Brilliant, thank you. What advice would you give them that the hurdles that people face today to overcome those?
The first thing I would probably say is don't take things too serious. At the end of the day, you're having a competition, everybody's out here learning, and you're not going to perfect everything that everybody else does. So don't be afraid to try, don't be afraid to ask, don't be afraid to participate, but also be authentically you. If you want to learn something, just go out there and find out. Go and ask. Go and be a part of it. Don't be scared. Don't hold back, because you're not going to lose anything by going out and trying. You're not going to lose anything by going out and asking. You lose if you don't. You regret if you don't, right?
Yeah.
As the saying goes, you only miss the shots that you don't take. All right? So take every shot you get. If you get a bar and you want to just hang on it and try and see what it feels like, get on it. You want to try the dips, you want to try the rings, go out there and do it. right? Another thing I would probably say is, like I said, once you've got a community, tap in and lean into it, and just don't be afraid to ask each other questions. Don't be afraid to correct each other. To have conversations where you just involve each other in your progress, because having that reflection is going to help you grow. You know, you can reflect on yourself, but somebody else can reflect on you and help you that much better. So
Brilliant.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing how all these athletes progress, and I'm also looking forward to getting back into it myself and progressing.
Brilliant. We'll definitely be excited to see you and compete in the future, hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, definitely.
That'll be the last time I'm at one of these weeks.
Brilliant. Hiya, Paddy. This is a brilliant event that you set up for everybody. We've enjoyed it absolutely thoroughly, and I'm sure everybody else did as well. So just need to get one last line from you. So we're going to need some beginner tips for people that are just wanting to get into the calisthenic sports. What tips and advice have you got for them to make it easier just to blend in?
The only tip and bit of advice I could give to anyone that to start calisthenics would be to slow it down and try and enjoy the journey. You don't want to compare yourself to these people that you're seeing on social medias. We will get to there at some point, but again, it's bringing it back to the journey, taking it day by day and workout by workout, and just enjoying calisthenics for what it offers for the mental health aspects and physical benefits in that. So, you know, enjoy each workout as it is and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Onwards and upwards with calisthenics and the UK communities.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. We've had some great bits of advice from all the competitors, as well as Paddy, one of the head coaches. I would say that the best advice that I heard today definitely was from Paddy. You know, at the end of the day, yes, there'll be things that you find hard and tough in the calisthenics department. You know, there's different categories that you can really hit, as well as the freestyle to static. But overall, the main thing is just to enjoy it, just to get down and just try out new things at the end of the day. There's a beautiful community of lots of folk that enjoy the calisthenics sport, and above everything, we're just all trying to have fun.
Yeah. And most importantly, don't compare yourself to the guys on social media.
That's important. Don't compare yourself to us.